What's the crusade you're going on? A mission to live your life's purpose and passion. What if this year is the last year of your life? What's your God-sized dream? What do you stand for? Live your best life this year. Now, that's the time. I'm going on a crusade to change people's mindsets every single day. So are you on board?
Good morning, and greetings from Whitefish, Montana. Yes, beautiful, gorgeous Whitefish, Montana. Today's episode that I am recording, I am looking at the most expansive view that you may have ever seen. Now, I know you're listening to this because I don't have any audio with it, but if you could visualize and imagine as you're out for your walk, your run right now, or you're driving, I am looking out of a window. It's 0 degrees outside, 0. The sun is rising to my right, and there is the most expansive view that goes miles and miles to trees covered in snow and mountains covered in snow and snow everywhere in this gorgeous, majestic setting. Yes, the family and I came out here from December 26th, the day after Christmas, to December 31st. And we had an absolute blast, and we did a lot of fun, adventurous things. But I'm actually recording this podcast on January 3rd. You're like, wait, how is that, Todd? How is that? Well, today's episode, Stuck in the Snow When Life Throws You a Curveball, we actually had our flight canceled on December 31st, New Year's Eve. And since I'm here an extra 5 days, yes, I said I'm here stuck, quote, air quote, stuck in Whitefish for an extra 5 days, I said, what better thing can we do than let's record a podcast so that when you get stuck in the snow, what do you do? What do you do when you get stuck in the snow? And has life thrown you any curveballs lately? Anyone get thrown a curveball? I bet you so. And when I was thinking about this, literally staring out this window and watching hawks fly, I actually had a fox yesterday morning come visit me, and right outside my window, there's a ledge, and this fox came up, and I wanted to reach out there, but it was 0 degrees, and I did not. But when you think about curveballs, I think each and every one of us listening to today's episode has been thrown a curveball in some way, shape, form, or other in the last several weeks or months. And as 2022 is off to a torrid start so far, has life thrown you a curveball as it relates to your health? I recently shared some of my challenges in 2021, and that was certainly a curveball in 2021. How about your health? Has COVID thrown a monkey wrench in your plans or your business in some way, shape, form, or other? It has impacted everyone, including that is the reason why our flight was canceled. One of our crew members had COVID, and our flight on New Year's Eve got canceled. Now, imagine this. The kids, Luke, Brady, and McKenna, they're 19, 16, and 13. When they heard that our flight was canceled and they could not get home to San Diego on New Year's Eve so that they could go party or socialize with their friends on New Year's Eve, I had to calm that storm down real quick. And when you get thrown a curveball, do you have any relationships that have gone upside down? Maybe even at work, an employee or employer relationship has gone astray, and that you need to recapture that, and you need to straighten that curveball out. Or like us, maybe your travel plans have recently been disrupted as well. There were over 15,000 flights that were canceled between Christmas and New Year's 2021. That's crazy. That's crazy numbers. And while some of it was weather, a big part of it was the uptick in this COVID variant that everyone's dealing with. But I wanted to share today the mindset that when you get thrown a curveball, when you get stuck in the snow like we are, is how do you flip it? Because I had a lot of people who were following me on Instagram say, well, how do you keep positive and everything else? And I'm going to share this rapid fire short episode today. Number one, there were a lot of highlights of the trip, even thus far. Lots of snow, like you could actually probably hear the fire in the background, even though it's early morning. I started a nice fire, and it's snowing out, and it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, when I say it snowed every day, it snowed every day. We went snowshoeing and snowmobiling, and it was cold. Like, I think the lowest it hit was about -6. And then every morning, I just love sitting in this chair that I'm in right now as I record today's episode, just staring out this big window, watching the sunrise at about 8:30 in the morning. Seriously, the sun rises about 8:30 here in the morning in the winters. And possibly you can detect even in my energy today, as you listen to this, it'll be a few weeks later, but my energy today is calm and serene and peaceful, because now I've had more than my 5-day vacation. It's been 5 plus 3 with another 2 to go. So my energy certainly is one that is recalibrated and reset and ready to going hard into 2022. And other highlights is exploring the town of Whitefish. If you have not been to Whitefish, Montana, you may want to put it on your bucket list. It is amazing. But even getting outside of Whitefish here, the family, we explored an area called Kalispell, where you fly into, and also Big Fork, Montana. This village reminded me of being in Austria. And of course, where I am right now, I'm in a cabin on 1,700 acres in a project called the Homestead. And earlier in 2021, I was brought in as a consultant to help this project, the Homestead, as they look to build a world-class spa, fitness, and retreat center. So I'm working with them to create what will be the epicenter of this real estate project and development. And I'm so excited. And I wanted to bring the family out over the holidays to share with them this gorgeous, absolutely breathtaking beauty that exists here on the Homestead property and also in Whitefish. And, I don't want you to be like, oh, Todd, it sounds like, how can you complain? You got stuck in Whitefish. There were actually a couple lowlights of the trip. And I got to admit here on the podcast that one of the days, and now I grew up in New Jersey. I grew up driving on ice and in the snow and these treacherous conditions. But despite having a large SUV, one day when the sun was setting, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the family and I were driving, and we're just probably a mile away from the Homestead property, and my Suburban literally skidded off the road onto the side of the road and got stuck. Yes. So when I say stuck in the snow, it's not just I was stuck here. We actually got stuck to the point we were probably just about 10 yards off the side, but I hit a patchy black ice area and completely lost control and just skidded. And fortunately, there were no telephone poles or fences or anything, but I was stuck. And I share that for a few reasons. Number one, even though we are out about 8 miles from town, there's not a lot of people driving by these roads. Every single person that stopped inquired about could they help, and the answer was no. We needed someone that had a wrecker or a tow truck to pull us out of the side of the road, because we were probably submerged in about 2 or 3 feet of snow off the side of the road. Now, fortunately, the family was safe and I was safe, so that's a good thing. But a man came by. His name was Jackson, and Jackson came by although he didn't have a towing company or wrecking company, he had a truck that was built for Montana. And this guy had a shovel in his back of his rig, and he had a chain, everything that I needed to get pulled out. And sure enough, Jackson, he rigged up our SUV, and after being stranded for only about 45 minutes, because it would have taken AAA about 90 minutes to get there, Jackson pulled the Suburban out of the side of the road, and off we were going. So it was a minor stuck in the road, but we were stuck in the road. And I also was grateful that it wasn't worse, because by the time we got out, the sun was set and it was dark. So definitely avoided some mishap there. Didn't get to ski on this trip. Unfortunately, did not get to ski here in beautiful Whitefish. Still being careful with my back and knees. So I'm ramping up. So hopefully in 2022, later in 2022, I can get back on the slopes. But lastly, today, when I said stuck in the snow, my flight being canceled on this past Friday, New Year's Eve day, as I record this, just on January 3rd, Sunday. What happens when life throws you a curveball? You get stuck somewhere. You get stuck right now. I have 7 quick rapid fire things that you can do if you're stuck in life today. Maybe you're physically stuck. Maybe you're mentally stuck. You're emotionally stuck. You're spiritually stuck. You're stuck in a relationship. You're stuck somewhere where you don't want to be, or maybe you're stuck like me in a place you don't mind being stuck in, right? So number 1 is get your mind right. Get your mind right. When you get stuck, you got to get your mind right. So I had to get the kids' minds right here on Friday morning because they were not happy that they were not getting back to their parties back in San Diego. And after I said, okay, feel sorry for yourself for 2 minutes. I'll give you the 2-minute drill. Feel sorry for yourself, and you better snap it because look where we're stuck. We're stuck in Whitefish, Montana, in a cabin overlooking the most expansive, beautiful place. Life ain't too bad, kids. And they snapped it after just a few minutes, and they realized that I was right, and they had to snap it. But it took a little effort because you got to get your mind right and rechannel that. Because number 2 is when you get thrown a curveball, you got to put the mind in where I was at was control the controllables. You've heard me say it before. You'll hear me say it again. Control what you can control. Folks, I can't fly a plane. I don't have a plane, so I can't control that. I don't control the schedule that the airlines is canceling because someone has COVID. I don't control COVID. I don't control any of that stuff. I can only control what I can control. Matter of fact, I don't even know. We're supposed to get back on Wednesday, January 5th. I'm supposed to be in Arizona to present a day of impact for a Fit Body Bootcamp franchisee. I don't even know if I'm going to get home on Wednesday, 5 days after that I'm supposed to have already been home. So I can't control that. I'm only going to control what I can control. Number 3, similar, but when life throws you a curveball, when you get stuck in the snow, air quotes again, you got to choose to make lemonade out of lemons. You got to choose to find the positive in any situation. Like you got to flip that switch. For example, I'm recording a podcast from the mountains with 0 degrees out right now. And I said, you know what? Okay, I'm 5 extra days. I'm going to have some adventure, but I'm going to get some work done as well because if I was back in San Diego, I'd be getting work done and I can't record the podcast. I don't have the team. I don't have my videographer, Brandon, who you just heard from last week as part of my team, but I'm going to record a podcast via audio. And maybe you detect a little bit of an audio difference. Yeah, I'm speaking into my phone with a large room that's not acoustically favorable for podcasts. You get it done. I literally, later on today, I have my mastermind coaching call, my all-up mastermind monthly coaching call. I'll do it from here. Also, make lemonade out of lemons. I'm going to include adventure each and every day that I'm here. So in some way, I thought that I would do work in the morning and then I would do adventure in the afternoon. So we had some rules with the family. Hey, here's what we're going to do. We'll spend a few hours of quiet time in the morning and we'll go out and play and do something fun every single day. And who can complain? I'm snuggled up with my God-sized dreams planner, and I've already this is our 3rd extra day here, going deeper and deeper and deeper on the GSD planner. And what I find is the deeper you go, the deeper you go, and the deeper you go, the deeper you get. And the deeper you get, your emotions get stirred. And when your emotions get stirred, emotions invoke motion. Emotions invoke motion. And this is a good thing. So, man, I'm making lemonade out of lemons, and you need to do the same thing when you get stuck in the snow or life throws you a curveball as well. Point number 4, you never regret family time. You never regret family time, because for a few moments after they canceled our flight and told us they did not have a flight until Wednesday, January 5th, I have to be honest with you. For a few minutes, I was like, we can't do this. We can't extend 5 days vacation. my wife, Melanie, and you all have heard Melanie on the podcast before, she said, Todd, when else can we get our family together and get this gift that was just given to us of having us all shacked up in the cabin here in Whitefish and having an extra few days together? I'm like, that's why I love her. That's why she's the best. And she reminded me that you never regret family time. And even yesterday, we went out as a family and did some snowshoeing, and we've been talking around the fire here in the evenings and just getting more and more family time. And that's time that you can't replace. And now that Luke is a freshman in college and, the kids, Brady is a junior in high school and McKenna is an 8th grader. I mean, these are crazy ages. They almost have teenagers, 19, 16, 13. So to have them cooped up, shacked up in a home here in Whitefish has been an absolute blessing that you never regret that time on that. So if you can get it and seize it. Number 5, be present. Be where your boots are at. Like, how do you stay in the conversation today, this week, wherever you're at, whenever you're listening to this episode? Because what I thought about is there's always a gift in every negative situation. Sometimes you got to look a little deeper. Now, again, don't feel sorry for me. I'm in a beautiful place. I'm in Whitefish, Montana. I'm not slumming it here in Whitefish, but it is a little inconvenient that our plans got disrupted and we still don't know if we're going to get back on Wednesday. So when you get thrown a curveball, good or bad, there's always a gift. So when you think about it, to be present today professionally, when you think about the gift that you are in your career, in your occupation, what are the gifts right now in your personal? For me, I just shared family time. That's a gift that right now, how can I be present right now as I record this podcast and I envision you on the other end listening to my voice about how you can be a better man, woman, mom or dad, son or daughter, grandma, grandpa, entrepreneur, leader, financial advisor, attorney, police officer, you name it, coach, you name it. Be present. Be where your boots are at. Be present in the conversation today. Number 6, say yes to more adventure. Say yes to more adventure. Now, if you've been doing your God-Sized Dreams Planner, and I'm really excited about it because one of the things I included in the God-Sized Dreams Planner for 2022 was the 10 forms of wealth. And every month, ideally in the beginning of the month, you have the opportunity to grade your 10 forms of wealth. And there's 10 different areas that you would grade yourself on in the planner. And when you grade yourself in your inner self and your physical conditioning and your career and your finances and your relationship and your love and your mindset, the category, one of the 10 categories is adventure. And I typically in the past have had like on a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being where you want to be, adventure is always like my weakest area. I have to schedule adventure in my 3 and 30 to actually get it, to have the adventure I want, because I love to work, I love the family time, and I have my routine. But if I don't include adventure in the schedule, then it doesn't get done. The last few days between December 26th and now, the adventure has been through the roof. And this extra 5-day gift that I've received, I said yes to more adventure. Let's treat every day as a pleasant surprise about, what can I do today that I would not be able to do if I was traveling or if I was home in the normal routine. That's the mindset again. So I implore you that if you are, quote, stuck in the snow today, if you're stuck in some area of your life, in your relationships, at business, your finances, is use the unusual and the unexpected moments to truly almost self-renew and self-discover and to have more adventure. Because the 7th and final point I want to make on today's show is this: embrace the quiet. Not embrace the suck, because when you're stuck in the snow or you're stuck in life, sometimes it does suck. But I'm not saying embrace the suck. I'm saying embrace the quiet. To turn off the mind, to tap into the whispers. When I'm out in the snow and I'm snowshoeing, and I'm going to go out and get some more adventure here in just a little while when I'm done recording this, You got to dream. And you got to dream. And a reminder, a God-sized dream. Some of you are asking questions. A GSD, a God-sized dream, is not some deep, dark voice saying, Todd, I am imploring you that the God-sized dream is that you have to do this in your life. No, the GSD, a God-sized dream, is not this deep booming voice that tells you what you need to do. But your God-sized dream truly is when your passions and your divine purpose align so that your energy can totally sing and soar to your maximum levels so that your passions, your purpose align to create the impact that you're designed to create. And I share that is because being out here in the mountains and in the snow and snowmobiling and snowshoeing and hiking and all the things that we're doing have really brought the soul and the spirit to life. And my dreams have even gotten deeper and deeper and deeper. And as you listen to today's episode, whether it be later on in January, when it actually airs, because again, I'm recording this in early January. It's going to come out in a couple weeks. Hopefully I'm home by that point, or if not, you can find me in Whitefish. But talk about the gift. Talk about the gift. When you can embrace the quiet and listen to those whispers, what they're saying, and you go deep on your deepest passions and your divine purpose, and you say, here's how I'm going to live with more fervor and spirit and energy this year. I shared with you that my theme for this year is energy. And energy, and what that's going to be, so that when you think about enthusiasm and that never give up mentality and extraordinary health and the resilient mindset that it's going to take and the get your mind right mentality to live your God-sized dreams. And the why is the 3 whys of say yes to more adventure, say yes to Yahweh, drawing nearer to God, and saying yes to more yoga. That's my theme here in 2022. And these past couple days have reminded me of the power that when you get stuck in the snow or life throws you a curveball, that you can use it as an opportunity so that you can stay positive when things go south. So my friends, today, if you get stuck, if you get stalled somewhere in your life today, this week, or in the near future, come back to this episode and keep searching for the silver lining and lessons when things don't go your way. And whatever happens, good or bad, there's 2 things that you're never, ever, ever going to regret. Number 1 is more time with your family. Cherish that. Right now, as the family's sleeping, and I'm shouting up here in the living room, I'll never regret the extra time I'm getting with the family, let alone the time when the family is together. And number 2, you'll never regret your health. You'll never regret your health. And as you listen to this, several weeks after your New Year's resolutions were set, today is the day you go to the gym and you get after it. Today is you get in your run or your snowshoe or your skiing or your cardio, or you clean up your nutrition, or you go get some body work and massage therapy like I got yesterday. And boy, oh boy, thank God for touch. Touch therapy is going to really be important in all of our recoveries, the physical recovery, the mental, emotional recovery. But man, it felt good to get some body work yesterday. But you'll never, ever, ever regret time with your family and time on your health, because after all, those are 2 things that matter most. Thanks for listening today. From stuck in the snow when life throws you a curveball. And as a reminder, today, train hard, eat right, live inspired. And the next time you get stuck, be grateful that it's not 0 degrees out, or that you are stranded on the side of a road, or that you got a 5-day, not a 5-hour, or a 5-day delay on your plane ride home. Then again, that's not so bad after all. It's time for me to go play in the snow. Have an awesome day, and thanks for listening in. Peace and God bless. My friends, I want to say thank you for listening to today's Stuck in the Snow. As I record today's close to the episode, I'm actually back now in San Diego after 5 days of being delayed in Whitefish, Montana. And as I mentioned on the episode,
I had no team. It was just my phone and myself staring out at the beautiful, beautiful white snow and mountains. And sometimes when life does throw you a curveball, whatever that may be, and right now as you listen in, man, your health, whether you have COVID, someone has COVID, whether something at work, sometimes we get so frustrated at things we can't control. I want to simply remind you this, that life will continue to throw us curveballs, but it's how we react to them, how we respond to them, that we take heed of those 7 points I made on today's episode, and that you realize that there's always a silver lining. There's always a blessing somewhere if we have the right mindset. And that's what this podcast is all about, is continuing, team or not. Now, if you didn't listen to last week's episode 230, go back and listen to the power of the team, your dream team. But even when you don't have your team, you find ways to get the job done. I want to say thank you for listening to today's episode. I so appreciate you. Don't forget to hop over to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating and to write a review. They so help us. And I have big aspirations and dreams for 2022 and the Todd Durkin Impact Show that will continue to climb into the top 10 in all podcasts. So until next time, remember, train hard, eat right, live inspired, create impact, and keep swinging for the fences even when it's a curveball. Peace and God bless.